Okay, everybody. Hello, my name is John Samuel. I work for Workspot. I'm based in the UK, and there's a series of videos I've got on my YouTube channel. Feel free to have a look at those and see if you've got any questions. Feel free to reach out to me. So I was going to show um, regional DR with Workspot and why you might use it. Okay, so this is my physical machine. Okay, and I've got my Workspot client going already, and I've got lots of cloud desktops here. That's just because I can. I've got some in GCP, some in Azure. This one's in Belgium. This one's in Ireland. This one's in the Netherlands. This one's in UK and GCP. This one's in the UK, but it's in Azure, etc. So lots of cloud desktops. Normally users wouldn't have that many cloud desktops themselves. I have, because I've got access to my demo systems, so I can create lots of cloud desktops. But up here on its own is a region DR test. Okay, so this is a silly name. I've given it that so that we can all see it. I've got the reboot button here, so I can always reboot the machine if necessary. And this is the end user's experience. Okay, so this is how the end users would do it. They'd sign into their client, and then they click on their cloud desktop. And I've got other videos showing this happening. And now you see I'm signing into my cloud desktop. There, boom. Now, it didn't ask me for credentials. That's because we have single sign-on turned on. So you don't have to have that turned on. That's your choice. And also, I don't have multi-factor authentication turned on either, but I could have been being challenged at that point for my MFA, from something like, I don't know, Google Identity, Okta, Azure Active Directory, Duo, Ping, any of those authentication solutions. Yeah, we support all those and more, I believe. If I open up the blue banner here and hover over my connection speed, you can see I'm getting 12 milliseconds latency. That's pretty good. That's really important. With Workspot, we try and keep the latency as low as possible. You should always put your cloud desktop as near to the end user as possible. Yeah, so this cloud desktop's in the UK, and I'm in the UK, and this happens to be in Azure, I think, this cloud desktop. But as a user, I have a very important document on my machine. Let me just open that up. There it is. This is a very important document. It must not be lost. Yeah. Now, most companies wouldn't allow their users to save important documents to the local C drive, either in the physical world or virtual, because obviously machines go wrong. Physical machines get lost, get stolen. Yeah, so you wouldn't want these important documents to get lost or stolen, and you wouldn't want this document to be accidentally lost, even if it was a virtual machine. Yeah, so you'd probably use a file share. But there are cases where some people might have work in progress documents which they keep on their C drives, particularly in the architectural, engineering and construction space where they're using solutions like Autodesk Revit. They might have big project files which they have open on their C drives and only save off to the share files when they are completed, when they're finished doing the designs or whatever. And that's absolutely understandable. So we've got this document here, minimize that, and we don't want to lose it. Yeah. So that's on my cloud desktop. This is the user's experience. Okay. So I'm going to minimize this at the moment, and I'm going to go over to a browser. And here I've signed into Workspot Control. Workspot Control is the IT administrators portal for the actual Workspot solution. It's multi-cloud, as I said. These are the dashboard, and these are all the physical devices hitting the demo environment. Yeah. So if I come over to resources, we've got this concept of pools, and here is my region DR test pool. If I click on that, you can see I'm connected. Yeah, that's because I am connected. There it is. Yeah. And this, I must stress, is the IT administrator's view. The end users would never need to see this. I've got backups turned on. And if I click on the backups tab, you can see that the last backup happened at 4 o'clock in the morning today, and there was one previously. The second backup policy that I have is to keep one for a longer period of time, and this will keep advancing, and then this is held for a month or so, and that's because I have a backup policy I've created. Now, I've got other videos showing backups, so I'm not going to go through that right now because we're doing regional DR. So if I click on the regional DR, you can see that my backup has happened on the same date, so it's the same backup as this one here, but it's been copied across to the region that I want to fail over to. Okay, so right now I'm in Azure. You can see here's Azure Cloud, and I'm in the UKSouth region in Azure. Okay, now let's imagine that perhaps Azure has a funny 5 minutes, and maybe the UK region goes down. So we don't want our end users to be impacted by that. So if I come over to resources, we have regional DR pools. And previously I've created one here, a region DR in North Europe. Yeah, so here I have an empty pool, okay, region DR, North Europe. Okay, so it's in Azure, North Europe. There's nothing in it at the moment. And this is where my cloud desktop that I currently have in the UK running will be invoked, will be started and built from scratch if I invoke DR. Okay, so let's do that now. So let's me sign out of this. Okay, so I'll just disconnect from this. Minimize my and just bring back. There's the a region DR test. Okay, so there it is up there, and now I have nothing in this environment at all. So if I come over to it and I come over here and say, right, I want to activate regional DR, boom, I'm going to say, hey, it's giving us a warning here. Are you sure you want to activate it? And I'm going to say yes, because it's going to enable one desktop, because I've got one in production. Okay, I've got one in my pool, which I showed you earlier, which is all backed up, and it's going to take those over. And it's just telling me that if there's any that aren't backed up, it will actually tell me here, yeah. And if there aren't any that backed up, it would use the default template assigned to this pool, which of course could be the same as the one that I used to create the initial pool that I'm signed into. And I'm going to say yes, and there you go. I have my regional DR already started. If I click in here, you can see it's building a machine, okay, and it's going to take the backup of my the backup I have from the UK, which was shipped across to North Europe, okay, and that's going to be put over all the way over into North Europe, and I'll be able to use that. Now, if I come into my client and we just refresh this, you'll see that my icon has gone away. Okay, so the one that was here before the Belgian desktop has gone and it's been replaced by another one, but the power on button isn't yet there, and that's because the machine isn't yet available for me to use. You can see here, if I click on check on progress, it's doing it's not started yet. It's going to be building it very, very quickly. Okay, so behind the scenes, things are being shut down on the UK side of it, and are going to be built up over here. So if I come over to the UK one, you can see it's now red and it's got a padlock, a bit small, but you can see there's a cloud has got a padlock on it, and means I can no longer access this. Yeah. So although this machine is still there, we can imagine that perhaps the region has failed, so we won't be able to see this. We're not deleting, not getting rid of this machine in any way. Okay, that's still there for me to always go back to when the disaster has gone over, but we're waiting for this one to be built, and it's going to be building it pretty damn quick. Okay, so I make that about 9:31, so I'm going to stop the recording right now, and I'm going to do a second recording to actually show you that activated. Okay, so we'll see that coming up and running in a short period of time. So see you in recording number 2. See you soon. Bye.